It's Fernando Ruiz Art.
Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in. And today we're going to do one of our reviews. And we're reviewing something that's a little bit different today from the usual mainstream American comic book that I've looked at in previous videos. Today we're going to look at a French graphic novel done by Christophe Chaboute, and I hope I'm being merciful to that name. If I'm not, please correct me in the comments below. And this of course is the English translation of the graphic novel, which is really considered to be his masterpiece. And not to give anything away of this review, but deservedly so. Alone. It is the book is titled Alone. I'm going to talk about the story first, and then discuss the art. Now, when I talk about the story, I most likely will not be doing this book justice. But please hang in there and please trust me. So what the book is about? It is about a lighthouse keeper, a disfigured lighthouse keeper who was born in the lighthouse on this isolated little island, where he grew up and has lived his whole life. He's never left that island. He grew up knowing only his parents. There's a little supply boat which visits the island once a month and drops off a box of supplies. And even the crew of the little supply ship, they just pull up, drop off the supplies, and they leave. They never see the lighthouse keeper himself. The lighthouse keeper has grown up entirely alone, and he has no knowledge of the outside world. And the bulk of this book is his existence in that lighthouse by himself. His only friend, his only companion is a fish in a bowl. And that's all I'll say about the fish. Now, I know you're probably listening to my description saying, well, what's interesting about this? And this brings us to the review. Story-wise, this is beautiful. It is a beautiful, beautiful story. And this is not superheroes. It's not sci-fi. There is nothing otherworldly or fantastic that takes place. It is a very real life about a very real feeling character. You're gonna really fall in love with this lighthouse keeper. You're gonna get into his head, and you're gonna feel for what he is going through. Believe me. Now, this is a sizable book, as you can see. I believe the story is about, let's see, we have 368 pages. Now, I will confess, I am a slow reader. I read this in about a day and a half. It is addicting. And this brings me to the art as well, because as we look at the art, most pages have 1 to 2 panels on them, and as you can see, the pages tend to be very simple. Okay, the panels for the most part are very simple, and we actually, one of the things that keeps this story so easy to read is there is very little dialogue in this story. The only instances of dialogue, conversation, is among the crew of the supply boat that you can see here. Otherwise, there is almost zero dialogue. There's almost no writing, and there is I'll say, I'll give away this much. There is a sound effect which pops up periodically, and I don't want to give away what that sound effect is, because early on in the book, it kind of manifests, and you're left wondering what it is. The art is sort of this stark, deceptively simple, black, very black and white. It's all black and white, but this is very strongly graphically using black, very beautifully using black. And I say it's deceptively simple. You could see here, notice like the boats. It gets detailed when it needs to be detailed. But then you also have these panels. I mean, you could see the boat is beautiful. The lighthouse is beautiful. The boat is absolutely, it's detailed enough to be absolutely believable and realistic and interesting. But then you have panels. There's a nice little sequence that involves the sound effect that I was mentioning. Boom. What could that be? And normally I don't care about betraying spoilers, because most spoilers really, who cares? But I'm not going to give anything away of this book, because I really hope people will read this. I really hope people will seek it out. So yes, if you haven't figured it out by now, my review is overwhelmingly positive for this. Now, a little more on the art. And I know nowadays it's very trendy, popular to call something that's good a master class. In this case, I may not call this a master class, but there is a lot. If you're interested in the skill of narrative art, sequential art, whatever you want to call it, comic book art, there is a lot to learn here. This is very beautifully told. Chaboute very clearly tells this story with a very cinematic eye, from the rolling of the waves to just the movement of these birds. I mean, he takes you here we are at page 5, and it's all been about a seagull moving, and it's beautiful. It's utterly beautiful how he brings us into these scenes. And that I mentioned before, there's almost like no dialogue. That really is a real test of good narrative art. There are no words to bail it out. There are no words to make it interesting or understood. It is just, well, there we get a little bit of the dialogue. Like I said, it's just the crew. It's the crew of the boat talking. That's about it. The rest of it, nothing. There's a great nighttime scene. I won't even show you the main character, because the main character, he stays hidden for much of the story. But as I was saying, without dialogue or text, it really falls upon the art to sell the story in terms of the clarity of the story and to keep the story interesting. And this very much does that. There is a lot that we can learn, all of us, and anyone interested in the comic medium, in the storytelling medium. I think even filmmakers could learn a good deal from just watching these pages. Like I said, I read this very quickly. It is a very kind of addictive book, and a very digestible book. I inhaled this in about a day and a half. And still, to this day, I can open up any one of these pages and just start turning, and I'll be totally hooked into the book again. I'll be totally hooked into the story. So I would very much recommend this. Especially again, as I said, if you are a narrative artist, a comic book artist, if you're just a comic book fan, I would encourage you to really check this out and really see how good this medium can be. My final grade for this is, out of 5, I'm going to give it a 4.5, almost a 5. I almost dare call this a perfect book. The only minus I give it is, and I admit this freely, the subject matter may not be for everybody. I did make this recommendation once, and somebody, did walk away feeling, expecting a little bit more. But I think it's a beautiful story, beautifully illustrated. I very much recommend this, and I'll include the Amazon link for this one in the description below. So if anybody really wants it, I hope you guys will check it out and give Chaboute the sales he deserves. So that's about it on this one. If you've read this, or if you have any questions about it, please post in the comments below, and let me know your thoughts. Let me know any questions you may have about it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please click like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit the bell, and keep your eye out for future videos. More are on the way, and I've got some more reviews coming too. Okay, thanks a lot, everybody, and we will speak again. Keep reading and keep drawing. Bye-bye.